Queen and the Princess Royal are hosting a Women of Achievement lunch at Buckingham Palace today. The 200 guests include Sherry Blair, Heather Mills, Shirley Bassey and Kate Moss. ITV News has spoken to one of the women being honoured at the event. Leah Pattison has spent the last few years living and working in India, helping people suffering from leprosy. Romilly Weeks reports.
What to wear to the palace isn't what normally concerns Leah Pattison, but today she'll join nearly 200 other distinguished women to have lunch with the Queen. She's come back from India for the occasion. I met her to hear about her work with leprosy sufferers in a country where the disease carries a terrible stigma.
Well, this lady here, she's 32, which is the same age as myself. She initially started a course of treatment for leprosy, and unfortunately, because of the problem that her husband and mother-in-law had with her condition, they used to throw her medication away. And obviously, gradually, over a period of time, her deformity gradually became worse. It's hard to think that she's my age, and yet she's living such an extremely different life.
Leah's work is all the more remarkable because early on she contracted leprosy herself. She's now completely cured, but it did make her momentarily reconsider.
But then I was surrounded by people who had been diagnosed and treated, and many of which who had had a life of suffering as a result of it. And I knew that I would always have the support from my family and friends. So with their backing, obviously, you know, I felt, no, it's something that I have to do.
Leah's charity has helped hundreds of women, but she's still surprised that she's been singled out today for royal recognition. Romilly Weeks, ITV News.
Now, it's time to go over for the news where you are.
Kate Moss and Shirley Bassey were among the guests at the first ever all-female event at Buckingham Palace. But, as June Kelly reports, not all the guests were celebrities.
Irene Norman getting ready for her trip to London. As a single mother, she had a tough start in her own life, and she's always been determined to help other women. Today, there was some payback for Irene, being on the palace guest list.
I was sat as a single mum, 2 kids, living in a council house, thinking, I need to do something differently. I need to do something for my kids that'll change our lives.
Irene went back to college to get some qualifications. Now, 20 years on, she's head of Rhyl Community College in North Wales. Here she's introduced car mechanics, plumbing and decorating courses for women students, as well as offering them free childcare.
It gives women access to a level of income that totally takes them out of that low skill, low pay poverty gap. And it just changes their lives.
At the palace lunch, Irene was in the company of nearly 200 women achievers, from singer Charlotte Church, the youngest at 18, to the Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling.
All the women here are just, you know, real woman supporters, and I wish there were more people like that. It's a really great thing. We should all support each other. It's hard enough.
Irene told the Queen about her work supporting other women.
And I just sat there and thought, I wish my mum had been alive to see this. She would have just burst with pride, you know.
There was plenty of networking going on, but for Irene Norman, this really was a day of recognition. June Kelly, BBC News.
Cricket now, and England got off to
Waiting for traces of blood.